interview. My first, so you must forgive me if there might appear to be some glitches or if the interviewer is occasionally a little too noticeable. We will try to improve. But I think this first episode is full of interest, certainly for any cricket people. The name of my subject was something that always intrigued me when I was looking at the first Wisdens I was given as a boy. A. Baig. There is something alphabetically satisfying about that name. And I realised very quickly that this is a famous cricket person. He scored 100 in his first Test match at the age of 20, drafted into the Indian side against England as an undergraduate in 1959. The following winter, he scored plenty of runs against Australia, helped save a Test match. But soon after that, he effectively vanished from Test cricket. So it's an interesting story, and he tells it very engagingly in this interview. He may only have played 10 Test matches, but for cricket supporters all around the world, Abbas Ali Baig is a name which many people regard with huge affection and respect. He lives in Singapore now, as I have done for many years, and we've become good friends over the years. And I think you can say that this interview is more of a chat between friends. But please enjoy. Well, welcome to the Pavilion End podcast, and today we have something different, an interview with a gentleman whose name will resonate for many cricket fans, a gentleman who was a national hero when he's 20, and who was immortalised in a novel by Salman Rushdie. Not many sports people can say that. I'd like to welcome the former Indian Test cricketer Abbas Ali Baig to the podcast. Good morning, Abbas.
Thank you very much, Bill. I'm really honoured to be asked to sit for an interview. It's not really an interview, I'm sure. It's going to be a chit-chat.
It will be a chat.
Friend, yeah.
But I can assure you it's more of a privilege for me.
Okay.
Anyway, let's start at the very beginning. You were born in Hyderabad. Can you tell us something about your childhood and upbringing?
Yes, I was born in a respectable family. My father was a Manchester University chap, and he was an engineer, and he was more or less adopted by the Nizam of Hyderabad. But Nizam was very fond of him. And then as I grew up, went to school in Hyderabad called Alia, and then we had a lot of cricket in those days among different schools, and also we played against, we were about 11, 12 years old. And then you used to play on a matting wicket, and I distinctly remember the matting wicket was where our school was positioned there, and the ground was about 5 minutes walk. So a few of our team, the school team, used to go and pick up the matting on our shoulders and take it across to the ground and put the nail, lay it down, so that it was fit for the matches. And that is how always matting. And then into school and all that. It was great fun being in Alia in those days. There was, I think concurrently on the other side, Jaisima was also growing up.
Okay.
And we started meeting and playing against each other by and by. So he remained one of my better friends.
And you made your first class debut as a teenager.
Yes, I was, I think 15 or 16 maybe. And Jaisima and I were included in the Hyderabad side, although we were very young. And there was some kind of opposition saying that they're too young to be playing, particularly on a matting wicket, etc. So we played our Ranji Trophy, And in that, I think Jaiswal got 100. I got out for 25, 30. The next match was against Mysore, and I was determined to do well. And I got 100. They had a pretty useful team. I can't really remember the names, but there were a lot of them had.
So 100 when you were 16 or so.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it was great fun. Enjoyed every moment of it, and it wasn't as if one was negligent of one's studies. At the same time, concurrently, we were. No, I'm not sure about Jay. He was not such a good student, but I used to be a very acceptedly bright student. I used to come first in almost all the subjects, and so we got through that period, and there were a few other matches after that, after the Mysore thing. But I think by that time I was getting ready to come to England to study further, thanks to the Nizam, who very magnanimously gave me a scholarship of about £500 a year or something like that.
Oh.
And on that, I went to England. I thought I had, in the meantime, I had applied to Cambridge for admission. And Cambridge said you had to do their own exam just before coming in. My mother's uncle was a graduate from Cambridge University from Peterhouse. So that's where I tried. And well, they said, yeah, do those exams. I did. I was ready to come, and suddenly something happened. In the meantime, somebody from Oxford approached me and said, why don't you apply to Oxford at the same time? So I said, fine. So I applied to University College, and they said, fine, come up. And then they suddenly decided that I had to do a thing called responsions. And I had to do that. And in the meantime, another aspect was left over, which had to be concluded. That was an exam in Latin.
Of course.
So I didn't succeed the first time. 2 months after that, there was another test. So I got through. I was very, clever students in that I could. So anyway, they said fine, and because of the complication about the things, we'll allow you to come on the first term plus 3 years clear. So I joined Oxford in the season which was just starting cricket. And that's how I got into the Oxford team.
And of course, this was not a matting wicket.
No, that wasn't. Thank God for that.
And was that the first time we played on grass, as it were?
Probably. Yeah.
Well, you seem to adjust very easily.
Yeah.
You got hundreds early on against Lancashire and Yorkshire.
Yeah. There were good wickets, particularly both the pitches are very good.
Yes.
But we had a very substantial opposition on the other side.
Yes. Well, the Yorkshire side looks like a full side. Fred Truman.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people would find it hard to believe these days, but, I mean, university cricket, the cricket at Oxford and Cambridge universities, was of exceptionally high standard, wasn't it, in those days? Can you talk a little about the sort of players you played with?
Yeah. I think they had some very good players, both Yorkshire and Lancashire. For instance, Yorkshire had Freddie Truman and Illingworth, I think.
Yes. You got 100, I think, the next year against Yorkshire as well, 150.
Yeah.
And the Wisden account talks about your playing of Illingworth in that innings.
Yeah.
But your teammates also, you had some very distinguished teammates at Oxford.
Yes. Oh, in Oxford, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we had Alan Smith, who was wicketkeeper, I think.
Yeah.
And we had a chap called Edgar.
Right.
And Pierre Shaw or spinner, Sri Lanka.
Right.
There are a number of others.
And
Javed Burki.
Yes, I was thinking. Javed Burki, Imran Khan's cousin.
Pakistan player.
Pakistan captain later.
Yeah.
And of course the great future Indian captain, the Nawab of Pataudi.
Yeah, he joined. I was the first
Yes.
And then he joined maybe another term later.
Yeah.
And then as soon as he came on the picture, all the accent on my doing that and how I was feeling, etc., shifted to him. So I said, thank God.
But in the meantime, in 1959, of course, India were touring England at the
Yes.
same time.
Yes.
And what happened then?
I had had a stint against the Indian team playing for Indian Gymkhana against at Australia.
Well, right.
And so I got to know some of them I knew from before, having played against them in India. And Jaisima, of course, was there, and Kripal Singh, and Umriga Manjrekar was my big hero. And so in that match, I got about 26 or something. And then few matches after that was the test match at Old Trafford.
Right.
And the Indian team was doing very, very badly. I don't know how, it was such a good team.
Yes.
And so one day, Oxford-Cambridge match had just finished.
Yes.
That was at Lord's. And I got about 50, 60 or something.
You were top scorer in that game. Oxford won for the first time for many years, I think.
Yeah,
Henry Blofeld opened the batting for Cambridge, by the way. But anyway, yes,
Oxford,
the Oxford University match at Lord's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, I was relaxing after the university match and in our dressing room, and suddenly the Indian manager, Fateh Singh Gaikwad, I think, and
Yes, Gaikwad, the captain.
Suddenly knock on the door, and he comes in, and a little bit of chit chat, and said, "Would you mind? We're staying in more or less next door hotels. So would you mind carrying your bag to the next door hotel, because I'm asking you to join the Indian team?" I said, So I said, okay. And so shifted to the Indian team. I think the next day was a match against Middlesex.
Yes.
Or 2-3 days later.
Yeah.
So I got 100 in that. So then the test match came, and I was included, and I got 100 in the second innings. First innings,
Yes.
I think Illingworth, he used to swing the ball apart from the off spin, swing the ball in the air, and it swung again, it pitched, and so it took the outside. But anyway, that's how I was out. The second innings, 100. It was quite a flowing one, nice.
Yes.
And
all the accounts say that was a wonderful innings, but it was interrupted, I believe.
Rain.
No, well, and more than rain.
Yeah, what happened? Oh, for the...
Yes.
Well, towards the end of the day, they persisted in bowling bouncers, and I was getting runs of them very happily. But one of Rhodes' bouncers didn't get up as much as it should. So I missed the hook shot, and I got hit on the head. And I had to retire for the day because, and the next day came out, another wicket fell, so I went out, and the first ball was a nasty bouncer. And then I'm very surprised because I think Cowdery was a good chap, very kind. So, and Peter May was also, no, Peter May wasn't there in that match. So I think the first ball was a bouncer. Anyway, I got 200, and Umriga was at the other end. And I was very confident. I played a shot to mid-wicket, and I thought it would be an easy run. But Dexter picked up the ball very nicely and chucked it at the... And I was stranded because Umriga refused to watch.
Well...
So that's how I was run out and shot.
But everybody talks about that innings, says what a wonderful innings it was, and how you somehow galvanised the team. And Umriga had a very poor series until then, but he seemed to be inspired. The senior players seemed to be inspired by you.
Well, I think there was some amount of inspiration, yes, but ultimately it underperformed because it was such a good team.
Of course, you still lost the game. As
you still lost the game. Yeah.
But, you did become a sort of national hero. I think it's not an exaggeration to say.
Yeah.
There'd been a lot of press pressure, I believe, to get you in the side. I think there was a
Yes.
local headline, don't be vague, ask for Baig.
Yes, absolutely.
Did you feel that use the cliche, that your life had changed somehow by making this innings?
Yes, and unfortunately, in a way that wasn't too good, in the sense that I suddenly began to think I'm a big hero, and
Right.
so that was not a good sign. But I carried on, and the rest of the season wasn't as good as expected, except for the
Yes.
late.
You got 100 against Hampshire at Bournemouth then.
Yeah.
It was Derek Shackleton,
Yeah.
Butch White. Yes.
Shackleton and
Yeah.
what's the name of the other chap?
Butch White, the fast bowler. Yes.
So that's good fun.
Yes. And Vic Cannings, I think, also played in that
Mm-hmm.
game. Anyway, then you went back home. Did the sense of being a sort of hero, did it manifest itself in some way when you went back home?
Yes, I used to get at least 100 letters a day, fan mail, and I was very assiduous in terms of writing back. So
Okay.
at Oxford, instead of
Yeah.
concentrating on my studies, I was busy writing letters.
That's lovely then.
Yeah.
And then
Particularly from the girls. They were very, very fun.
well, we can move on to that shortly. Because in 1959-60, Australia under Richie Benaud were touring India, and you played the first 3 tests. After that, you had to go back to resume your studies. But you played in the first 3 tests, and I think you did very well in that 3rd test, which India drew, 50 in both innings.
Yeah.
And then this rather extraordinary thing happened
Yeah.
in that 3rd
Yeah,
test
yeah.
at Bombay.
There I was. I think India was in a bad way at that stage, and we had the best possibility would have been for us to save the match, and I managed to stay on, and with our RB Kenny at the other end, and the Australians gave up by that time. So anyway, we were returning, getting back for tea to the pavilion. Then suddenly this young lady jumps over the fencing wherever she was sitting, and then the security guys tried their best to stop her. She jumped over all the obstacles and ran, and with the most of the Australian team still on the ground looking at me aghast, and she came and gave me a peck on the cheek, and then she was taken away.
And what was the reaction to this? I mean, because there must have been a lot of people there, and
40,000 people watching this happen in the middle of the field.
This is the Brabourne Stadium, right?
Yeah,
the old ground.
yeah.
Yes.
And my parents were also there watching. I said, "Good Lord, what will they think? Is that what a young boy is up to these days?" That kind of. So one was very naive at that age, 18, 19.
And this was the event which is immortalised, I say, by Salman Rushdie in The Moor's Last Sigh. Anyway, in 1960 you go back, you play up another good season for Oxford, and you also played for Somerset in this year.
Yes.
I remember Wisden comments, in your first game for Somerset, you got 46 and 62, and there were, I think, 9 fours in your 42 and 64. There were 9 fours in your 42. You were an attacking batsman by, or you should say batter these days, but you were an attacking player by instinct. That was your preferred mode of batting.
Yes, actually, to the extent that it reached a stage when I was not content, however good the ball was, just to defend it. I wanted to be superior to the bowler in the way the thinking goes, that I should be able to hit every ball that he delivers to the boundary. But it doesn't always work. I mean, the bowler is also thinking how best to get him out. So it's a good battle.
And were you also? Some people say that you preferred fast bowling to spin bowling. Did you feel that yourself, or?
Yes, I did. Easier to score off fast bowling because and I didn't particularly care for the leg break somehow. Although I got lots of runs against the leggies, but I prefer the right hand off spinner because it would guide the ball through the leg side. Like, I used to be, I was a wrist player, basically.
Right. Yes, everybody says you're a very, very
Yeah.
wristy player.
And
Yes.
the leg spin, somehow I couldn't, in the beginning in any case, determine the googly.
Ah, right.
So
right.
I used to get out. Then I concentrated on getting used to it and getting the better of it. And I think I succeeded towards the end.
Were there many leg spinners in domestic cricket in India?
In India, yeah, lots of them. We had V.V. Kumar for Madras. We had Chandrasekhar, but he came a little later.
Yes.
But every second bowler was a leg spinner.
So that was 1960. You got, as I mentioned earlier, you got 150 against Yorkshire, a draw in the university match. Then back home, and in 1960-61, Pakistan toured India and played a 5-test series, and all the games were drawn. Everybody accepts it was a rather tedious series. What was your experience in that series?
Very bad, because again, I used to get to about 10, 15 quickly, and then I used to get out. It wasn't very pleasant. But anyway, that was a very bad series. And in fact, it weighed on my mind that we were playing against Pakistan.
Yes.
And there's a Muslim country, and I, being a Muslim playing for India,
Yes.
and all kinds of rumors started floating around, which I hated, and it played on my mind as well. Therefore you have to go dig yourself in and get a big score. It didn't happen, so it wasn't very pleasant.
Yes, I can understand that. Then you went back to England, another good series for Oxford, more runs for Somerset. You played for, in the old days, you can tell us something about this perhaps, that the difference between the amateurs and the professionals in English cricket.
There's a distinct distinction between amateurs and professionals. Professionals were those who had taken up cricket as a profession. They were being paid pretty handsomely, I think. But as an amateur, you were not getting anything. You were getting in pittance, maybe a pound a day or a pound a match or something like that. So amateurs supposed to have come from Oxford, Cambridge, that kind of background, and they're supposed to be pretty loaded themselves. So there's no need to pamper them further by the So I was an amateur.
Yes.
And people like, they all went to Oxford and Cambridge. Peter May, Cowdery, and all that lot. Not somebody like Freddie Truman and Harrington. But so there used to be a match. No, I don't think we played amateurs versus professionals.
Yes, the gentlemen versus the players.
Oh yeah,
yes. You played in 1961 for the gentlemen against the players at Scarborough.
Yeah.
And the captain of the gentlemen was Peter May.
Okay.
What was Peter May like?
He was a very quiet and lovely person. Fantastic batter, of course.
Yes.
And very friendly and very modest. And he'd been probably the best batsman in the world at that time.
Yes.
But he didn't show. He was very modest and very friendly. He came up to you and chatted with you and all that. And so was Colin Cowdery, very pleasant guys. So this tradition continued, I think, while I was amateur.
I think the last gentleman v players match was the following 1962. Then the authorities got rid of the distinction between amateurs and professionals. But was there at Somerset? Could you sense this divide between amateurs and professionals?
No. Somerset was a very friendly team.
Yes.
And we had Chesak Bilali.
Yes. He must have been a character.
Amusing chap. And we had Stewart, I think, wicketkeeper. No.
Like it was Stevenson, was it? Stephen Harold Stevenson.
Stevenson,
Yes.
And we had
And I think
Atkinson.
Yes, Graham Atkinson.
And Roy Virgin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He was a mid opener.
I think Stevenson was the captain. I think Somerset was one of the few counties that had a professional captain.
Yeah. Well, probably.
Another highlight for you in 1961 was the Oxford's game against the Australian tourists, when I think you got 95 and 73. Mm-hmm. Can you remember that game?
Yeah,
Richie Benno was the captain, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I was not in such great form at that time, I think, playing for Oxford.
Right.
And this particular match, I found my form. It was just flowing very nice. And I think 95, one of the bowlers riled me, and I tried to hit him out of the ground, I think. It was a left-arm spinner.
Lindsay Klein? Was it Lindsay Klein?
Could be that, yeah. So I hit it, it went in the air and I got caught.
Now, sometimes, I remember this myself when I was at Oxford, sometimes you played in the parks, but I think this game was at the Christchurch ground. Can you remember? Do you remember playing on two different... Yeah. The Australian, sometimes the tourist games.
It was a different match, not in parks.
Yes.
I don't know why, but...
I think the people used to say when I was there, it was because if you went to the Christchurch ground, you could charge the spectators, which you couldn't do in the parks, because the parks was a park.
Yeah, you must see.
Anyway, then you continued to play very successfully in Indian domestic cricket, but you only played 2 more test matches, I think, against the West Indies in 1966-67. Did it puzzle you? What was your feeling about not being...
I felt fed up completely. And I really lost interest in whether I was playing any more international cricket or not. I loved the game and I carried on playing. But I think... very frankly, I should have played about 30, 40, maybe 50. I think I had the potential and everything, but the mind, not very interested anymore.
Did anybody talk to you about this? Someone like Tiger Pataudi, who you must have known very well, was captain for much of this time. Did you ever talk to him about this, or did you ever?
No, I think we had a sort of filial thing against each other. He always wanted to do better than me.
Sibling rivalry, I think we call it. Almost.
Sibling rivalry, yeah. So on one occasion I'd got about 60 something and he went, he wasn't playing the match or something. And he went up and asked the opposition how much Abbas get, and they said 60 something. He said, I've got to get 65. No. So that kind of, but it never showed in public or anything, whatever sibling rivalry. It was there. It was obviously a much greater attention giver to the writers on the game and everybody, Pataudi, Pataudi's father, his father.
Yes.
So, which I didn't mind. I think he was a good... He and Jaisimha and I used to be quite a bit together in our playing together days.
Yes. I forgot to mention 1962, your final year at Oxford. But in that final year, in the university match, your brother was also playing.
Yes.
They say it's very unusual. I think there have only been 2 or 3 occasions when 2 siblings, actual siblings, were playing in the same side of the university match.
He was a very correct batsman.
Yes.
Not a flashy sort of type, perhaps. And he used to get runs, but in a very correct way, not imposing himself overly over the bowler. But anyway, he was there. He was a different college. He went to...
New College.
I was university.
Yes.
Which one college was he at?
He was at New College, I believe.
New.
Yes.
So anyway, then we played together. And then I think after I came back, we played together Ranji Trophy.
Okay. I think you had two other brothers who played first-class cricket also, is that
One
right?
certainly.
Ah, right.
The youngest one, no.
Okay.
The third one was the most attacking batsman you can think of.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Even more attacking than you?
Oh, more, because he used to hit the ball in the air as well. But anyway, we played together in the Ranji Trophy, first class in India.
Yes.
But anyway, my immediately second brother and I played for Oxford for them.
Yes. But then in, as I say, you continued doing well in Ranji Trophy games, and then in 1971 you were picked to tour England under Ajit Wadeka's side.
Yeah.
And you toured. You seemed to have a reasonably decent tour, but you didn't play any test matches.
No. I got about 60, 70 in the first match.
Right.
And then for some reason I wasn't included. I had lost interest,
Right.
quite frankly, by then.
So
they brought in. There were about other openers were also there.
Yes.
Called Jayantilal and
yes.
Mankad was
right.
made to open by Wadekar and Adhikari. He was the manager. And and then it carried on. Somebody else opening, and I don't think they liked me very much for whatever.
Because you must have been one of the senior players in that squad.
Yeah,
So
I became an advisor and all that.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
And played the odd match. I got 30, 40, 50, that kind of thing. But no interest at all in playing. It's a horrible thing to say, but the atmosphere was such that
But that you carried on playing first-class cricket till I think the mid-70s, Ranji Trophy cricket, and you went on quite a few of these tours that people like E.W. Swanton and Ron Roberts would organise.
They were fantastic tours.
Where did you go in those tours? Can you?
We went to the West Indies and all the European countries which don't really play cricket. We went to Corfu was a big favorite.
Yes.
And Fiji Islands, what islands?
Oh.
What do you call them? Fiji Islands.
The Fiji and Fiji? Or?
Fiji Islands.
Fiji, yeah.
And interesting anecdotes from some of these matches. The captain, Fiji Islands, captain was batting, and suddenly a siren on the road, and he just abandoned his gear and everything, ran to the stood there and paid his homage to the passing car that was the Queen. And another occasion, another batsman from, I think in Corfu or something, he came so abundantly padded up from head to toe.
Right.
And Wesley Hall was bowling, and obviously not bowling fast. And this chap came and challenged, and I said, "Hey, look, I'm dressed. Can't you bowl a little faster? Hit me, please," because he's insured himself again. And a number of such incidents. It was great fun.
Yes.
And Ingleby Mackenzie was captain.
Yes, the legendary Hampshire captain.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we had chaps like Kanhai. In one of these the reasonably serious games, Ingleby Mackenzie put me down number 3.
Right.
And Kanhai didn't like it at all. He went into a frenzy. I said, "How could he go at number 3 when it's my position?" But very, very lovely. And Everton Weeks joined us at the end.
I saw that, the picture of the Swanton tour of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Did he play, or was he just...
No, I don't think he played, but he just, the name, it's fantastic. And he put the idea into my head that every ball has to be hit.
Ah, okay.
And Everton Weeks, I used to say, okay.
Yes.
But great fun there.
And Tiger Pataudi was on some of these tours as well.
Yeah.
Right? There was no escape.
Yeah, and we stayed together, and where was this? But anyway, at an Englishman who had a huge mansion of a house, and Tiger and I were staying there, and we one night we got a bit late coming back, and we found the gate closed. So we had to we didn't want to ring and wake them up or anything. So we had to climb over the gate, and bit of luck and all that. We climbed over and saw a big, huge dog coming to us. And we ran for our lives, and then we were very careful the next 2 days. He was Lord somebody.
Oh, right. Okay.
Good fun, these tours.
Talking of Tiger for a moment, of course, you played with him before and after his accident. Do you feel his play must have been affected by that, I suppose? But he was still an outstanding cricketer even after the accident.
Well, he was a naturally gifted player.
Yes.
And to my liking, he played a lot across the ball as well. But he was obviously a fantastic player. He connected more often than not, and naturally gifted.
Yeah.
What can you say?
Yes.
And very, very good friends to have. I think as we became very friendly afterwards as well, and retained his wife. Was very good friends of my wife, and and we got along very well.
Yes, of course. Going back to your own...
About his batting, I think I don't know what else would he have achieved about the eyes.
Yes.
But anyway, that's...
Going back to your own career, who would you say was the most challenging bowler you faced?
There are two types of bowling. Freddie Truman, obviously, and spinners, Illingworth, not really anybody too frighteningly. His presence was felt. No, I can't name anybody. They're all extremely good bowlers.
Yes, of course.
You needed to be very vigilant in playing against them.
You played Wes Hall in that final Test series of yours.
Wes Hall?
Wes Hall played.
I didn't play too much against him, but he had a huge long run up and frightening. And who else was there at that? Another fast bowler. Anyway.
How about Alan Davidson? Was he?
Alan Davidson was I mean, he hit the ball and it moved. Very. Yeah, Alan Davidson definitely among the fast bowlers.
Then, when you retired, you went into business, but you managed some Indian sides, right?
Actually, I never gave up on what you just termed as business. I was working with a British company to begin with in my first year at Oxford, immediately after Oxford. They used to make brake linings, Ferodo brake linings. Okay. That's a very well-known name. So that's where they were very nice about my taking time off to go and play test matches, etc. Gave me leave. So that I went on to become a director and all that. But that concurrently went on. It was great fun.
And you managed some Indian tours?
Yeah. We used to have, apart from tours, first class tours managed by the country, there were other tours which were managed by a small group of people. I used to always be the manager or the captain or whatever. So number of these tours, but for the country I became manager. I think in the late after I retired, obviously. 71 I think was one, and before that. Then it went on to the World Cup, and the tour, the World Cup was in Australia, and my family joined me there, so it was very nice, and the team was totally different from earlier teams when I was manager, and it was not very easy to manager. As a manager, I used to do the selection and all that as well, to pick the team, because there's so many players who were there for a long time,
Right.
and some of them needed to be left out, and it was
Yes, it can be difficult, yes.
because Azhar, who was the captain, was completely aloof. He used to have his own thing to do,
Right.
and so it was quite a responsibility, and enjoyed it. All the players were very, very good, and very appreciative of what you're doing,
Right.
and recognizing that what I say is genuine, not a
Yeah.
so good fun.
And now, I know you still take a keen interest in cricket today. What's your feeling about things like T20? Do you think you'd have enjoyed T20 yourself if you'd had the chance?
No, I don't think I would have, because I wouldn't know how to hit the ball in the air. And well, I suppose one would have to change on style if I was playing that. But I enjoy it now, because I was very against it to begin with, but I started seeing it as, and I started not calling it cricket. I said just an offshoot of cricket, and I still prefer the longer version.
Yes.
And that's really needs to be skillful and thought-provoking and all that. Here you just go in, and but it's done some little bit of good for the mother game, as I call it, cricket. That fielding has improved tremendously, and in terms of batting, newer strokes have been invented. And there is a result at the end of it. I mean, in Test match cricket, there may not be a result after 5 days of grinding. Yeah. So in a way, I don't dislike it, but I treat it as a different game.
And finally, what's your feeling about the current Indian national side?
The current one?
Yes.
For which? 320 type?
Any type. They seem to be top of everything. Well, of course, they lost in that 50 over, but the final of T20 is today. Them against South Africa should be a fantastic game, but they seem to have a lot of talent just at the moment. The Indian national side.
Yes, and they've had to leave out one or two players who would have automatically found a place in the team.
Yeah.
But I think tonight's game, the final, I would tend to put my money on South Africa. Only because India has been winning so easily up till now. And I'm just hoping that there's not that state of mind when you sort of take it for granted.
Right.
But South Africa have been doing well, but they haven't played enough. I mean, critical matches, so they'll be really. And so I tried to watch South Africa and the other match, Afghanistan. That was 50 all out.
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to it. I hope I get to see.
Well, I think we all are. Well, Abbas, thank you so much for taking the time to do this. It's been fascinating and a real pleasure to speak to you. And,
Bill, it's a real pleasure knowing you and speaking to you today like this.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that interview. Who knows, there may be more in the future. I must say, I had great fun speaking to Abbas about his extraordinary, quite unique career. If you want to read a bit more about that, you can go to my blog. There's an article published, I think, in February 2017, the context of a upcoming series between India and Australia. And it's called You Must Remember This, homage to Casablanca as time goes by, because, of course, the thing you must remember is that a kiss is just a kiss, and that extraordinary event in Abbas's career. Anyway, as I say, I hope you enjoyed it. Please feel free to leave a review or even a few stars. Thank you.